Welcome back. Somewhere around here you can see my last made video, definitely check it out. And as you can see above, this is my E3 2012 impression video part 1. And this is all about the three keynotes, or I just call them keynotes or conference, but you know, it's really hard for me to say it, so that's why I just call it a keynote of course, Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft. And this is actually the 5th time I am making this video, and that's all because, in my opinion, I was bashing the other companies way too much, and I just don't like that. I have respect for both Microsoft, what they're doing, and for Nintendo, what they're doing, but my decision, my thing is with Sony. It always was, and yes, there are some great games for the Wii and great games for Xbox, but there's a couple of games, and overall I'm just not liking the style and the direction those both companies are going. And of course I love Japanese games, and most Japanese RPGs, pretty much all of them, are on the PS3, even though Xenoblade and The Last Story are freaking amazing. I want them, but hey, I almost got a Wii for those two games, so hey, maybe in the future I will get one. I do have to show off one little thing. I'm really sorry, a one little thing, and it actually got in the mail today. It's about a game I was kind of bashed for, on pretty much only on Facebook by quite a lot of people, and it is Diablo 3 Book of Cain. And I thought this was just some kind of, a glorified walkthrough or guide, but if you have played the game, and I think you have, you know that there are little bits of lore in the game where Deckard Cain is talking about things like, like some certain area in the world, or some certain demon, or some certain character in the world, and he talks a little bit about it, what he is, and this and that. It actually all comes from the Book of Cain that he wrote. So this is actually the book he wrote about Sanctuary, about his quest to defeat, of course, the evil. And the presentation is absolutely freaking fantastic. It feels and looks just like an old book, and when you read it, I haven't read that much, but when you read it, you're almost reading someone's diary, and that is how it is made. It really is like just Deckard Cain wrote everything down and describes everything how he sees it. There are actually little like key things for Leah, like, hey Leah, check this out, you have to remember this and that, and that makes the book so interesting. Also incredible artwork. So if you're a fan of Diablo, if you don't even like Diablo 3 but like Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, I think this is from Diablo 1 to Diablo 3, so definitely check it out. It kind of was quite expensive for just a book, but it's freaking amazing. I mean, come on, it's Diablo, duh. So yeah, I just want to show off that. So now on to actually the keynotes we just begin with Microsoft. And Microsoft, it gives me a deja vu vibe, and not in a good way. Like I was talking about, the direction they're going. And they announced a new Gears of War. They talked about Fable Journeys. They announced a new Forza Motorsport, and they talked about Halo 4. And I have to admit, Halo 4 looks absolutely fantastic. The trailer they showed was amazing, and that's, for me, I didn't even like all the Halo games. I thought that the other Halo games, they missed something. They missed this epicness. They missed the real epic of battle, and it's all in this. It was all in that trailer of Halo 4. It looked absolutely fantastic. So I definitely props to the new developers. In my opinion, that trailer was more awesome than all the other games trailers from all the other Halo games. So thumbs up for them. And they announced a bunch of Kinect garbage, of course, but the deja vu part comes from Halo, Fable, Gears, Forza. Every freaking year. Every year. If you love the series, I understand. I want also God of War. I want a new Uncharted. But the thing is, even though I want those games, I also want other games to play. Not every year the same games. And you have to be honest. You Xbox fans are playing every year the same game. You are playing Gears or Halo or something else, but you don't have like what Microsoft has with Ratchet and then Jack and then something else and Heavy Rain and they're Infamous and then Mod Nation Racer and then Little Big Planet. They have more variety in games and they're adding more and more and more, and Microsoft all those years have just been making sequels, and I think that's the disappointment a lot of people had with Microsoft. Then on to Nintendo, and I was actually a little bit interested in Nintendo because when you saw my other video of I think 2010, I was blown away by the 3DS. I even made a promise where if Sony would make the new PlayStation Portable that was not announced at the time, if they would make it digital only, I would buy a 3DS. And they of course didn't make it digital only, so I didn't get a 3DS, but that was how impressed I was with the 3DS. It really is a piece of really good technology. So I was like, hey, you know what? If the Wii U actually gives me a couple of incredible games, I'm not talking about incredible graphics, because we all know the new Xbox, the new PlayStation is going to be much stronger than the Wii U. But if they're going to show some really awesome gameplay and some also, of course, great looking games, I'm maybe going to get the system if it's not that expensive. But what did they show? They showed 3 Mario games, not particular for the Wii U. I think 2 for the 3DS and 1 for the Wii U. But the thing is that Mario is really a great franchise. It's one of the biggest, or it is the biggest icon in gaming. One of the biggest selling franchises ever, but it's just not my cup of tea. For me, I played the Mario games on the Super Nintendo and that's it. For me it's over. I'm done with it. So that's why I don't hate Mario. They're amazing games. I just, it's fed up for me. It's too much. And 3 games, that's a lot. They also announced Luigi Mansion. If you love this type of games, definitely, you're happy. Pikmin 3 got announced. So I know one of my friends are highly addicted to Pikmin. So I definitely think that he was very happy when Pikmin 3 was announced. They announced, actually they didn't talk about the 3DS that much, and they announced, I was so disappointed, Wii U Fit crap. They announced Sing, and Sing is pretty much like SingStar. It is pretty much SingStar, but then it's called Sing, so be honest, Nintendo does not always innovate everything. They definitely copied from SingStar, even the name Sing. They showed Just Dance 4 crap, Wii Fit U crap, go to the gym, go work out, 10 times better results than freaking Wii Fit U or Wii Fit, doesn't matter what you're doing. What did they announce more? They announced a couple of old games ports, so a lot of ports are coming to the Wii U. Batman and I think Assassin's Creed or not, but a lot of older games are coming to the system, like Ninja Gaiden 3. But hey, you got Dismemberment at this time. Did I say it correctly? Dismemberment, whatever. This time, so yay, the game still sucks. But well, I heard the game sucks. So they disappointed a lot. Also, I do have to talk about Nintendo World or Ninty World, doesn't matter how it's called. It reminds me of PlayStation Home a lot. It's online, socially, where there is a square, you know, where people gather and you can talk to each other, and from that, I just call it a hub, from that hub you can play a couple of mini games like a Zelda mini game and Donkey Kong mini game and a Mario mini game. It's cool for the fans, but again, be honest, it's pretty much the concept of a PlayStation Home. The concept is not PlayStation Home copied, but the concept of it, and they ended with that. So I was like, if that is the big surprise, I don't know. You know, I mean, the Wii was a giant success because there was no console for the casual gamers like that. And if they think and they can do it again, I think they're gonna be disappointed because the casual gamers, you know, the grandmas and stuff, they're not gonna buy another console because they already have the Wii. But who knows, maybe it'll be a giant success again. I hope all consoles are giant successes. Now on to Sony, and first I want to say is that for me, and I think also for you, the E3 is the week where our beloved companies, for me Sony, they're going to show off new games. If it's sequels to our most favorite games or totally new IPs, we're gonna see definitely 1, 2 or 3 new games. And Sony showed off a lot of badass games, but we already knew them. And the only 2 games they announced were Beyond Two Souls from the creators of Heavy Rain. It looked absolutely fantastic. I am really interested in it. Story-wise, I really like the magical thing to it, you know, with the life and death and after death. So I was really interested for it. It looked really spectacular. And then you have the Book of Wonders, a game that the writer of Harry Potter is also working on. I was like, really? And they showed off way too much time. They put in way too much time on that particular game, and I think actually the motion controller didn't work. For me, I already did it, but for me, Sony should ditch the Move controller. They should ditch the PlayStation Move in the garbage bin of never ever returning, never ever doing it over again. Stick with normal gaming. Let Nintendo make motion control gaming. They can do it much better than Sony and Microsoft, and ditch the stupid Move away, just like I did. Of course they showed off God of War Ascension. It looked absolutely fantastic, like always. They showed All-Stars Battle Royale, and yes, it's a one-on-one exact copy of Super Smash Brothers. I'm not gonna defend it. Even Sony says they've done it actually, and it does look a lot of fun. If they truly can do it, you know, if they truly do just copy Super Smash Brothers, but then with Sony characters, the game is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing the game. And what I've seen, it looks really cool. I can't wait to play with Helgas or play with Kratos and kick your asses. So yeah, they also showed off, of course, The Last of Us. And that for me was the show stealer. The Last of Us looked absolutely fantastic. The live demo was a lot of debate about it. We all know it's in-game. We all know it's in-game. But the thing is, was it scripted? Was it some kind of scripted event? Naughty Dog actually said that it's not scripted. This is how you play the game. And of course there are some people that are going to say, oh, they're lying. Dude, Naughty Dog is not a company that lies. If they say it's not scripted, then it's not scripted. So it actually looks breathtaking. It absolutely looks fantastic. I didn't thought that they could actually improve graphically from Uncharted 3, but what I've seen, they actually did even more details, better walking. It looked absolutely, or I just call it better animation. It absolutely looks fantastic. I cannot wait to play the game this year. Oh wait, the game is actually not coming this year. So next year they have God of War and The Last of Us. But where was The Last Guardian, by the way? Sony, where was The Last Guardian? I mean, if that's, will that game ever be released? You have to call me, your biggest fan. Call me up. Where the hell was The Last Guardian? You've been like making us happy with 2 trailers that absolutely was fantastic, and then you're just saying nothing? You're not even saying like, hey guys, we don't have a trailer for The Last Guardian, the developing is going really badly, maybe really long, but the game is still coming. No, they're just absolutely silent about it. What the heck? Seriously, Sony? Seriously, a lot of people were really anticipating the game, and then all of a sudden you were totally silenced. That's also a big disappointment. Of course, a lot of people were expecting Final Fantasy 13 Versus, but that is a Japanese RPG. That's all for Tokyo Game Show. If they're not gonna show it at Tokyo Game Show, again, what the hell they're doing? I mean, this generation is almost ending. When the new Xbox, when the new PlayStation comes out, nobody would care about The Last Guardian, nor do they care about Final Fantasy 13 Versus. I wouldn't. So yeah, that is the thing I want to talk about with Sony. And yes, this E3 was disappointing for all 3 companies, but for my opinion, as a gamer that loves games and not loves only one franchise, only Mario, only Gears of War, I definitely thought that Sony was the best. I mean, they showed off badass games, they showed a lot of games, and they definitely neglected the Vita. They announced like an Assassin's Creed and a BioShock we already knew, and the Call of Duty game we already knew, but they actually had 25 Vita games on the show floor, but they didn't have time to put Vita games in. No, they have to do 25 minutes of a stupid Book of Wonder move crap instead of the Vita, and they should have cut the price of the Vita also, because it's just too freaking expensive. But yeah, this is what I wanted to say. Finally, I've done it right. Hopefully I haven't bashed other companies that much, hopefully. Leave in the comments below, and what was your top E3? I'm hearing a lot about Ubisoft Watch Dogs. I haven't checked it out just yet, but I hear a lot of people talking about the game. But yeah, what did you like? Do you agree on me? Leave it in the comments below, and of course I will see you next time. Finally I make the video, finally.